Yeah, once again it's on. This is, I guess I always wanted to say that too. We're gonna show you how we doing lasagna today. My style of lasagna. You know, we're not gonna do the all-day sauce. We could, but I'm gonna save that for another show. But right now, we're gonna show you how to get a nice, good lasagna in the oven that's gonna be good for dinner, all right? Come on in the kitchen. I already got my water boiling for my noodles. Basically, just get the water to a rolling boil, and then I add a little oil in there just so the noodles aren't sticking. And then with lasagna noodles, I'm using a whole grain noodle. So, but anyway, you want to make sure you add one noodle at a time. That's the key. And we're going to bring that back up to a boil for about 10-11 minutes or so. I'm going to get some oil in my skillet over here. We're going to get that a little hot. And we're going to saute some bell pepper and some onion in there. And we're going to get that soft because that's going to go in our sauce. Remember, I told you we're not doing a fresh sauce, but we're going to freshen it up by using some fresh ingredients. Like I got some basil here, got some fresh oregano, some fresh parsley. You know, as you can see, I'm gonna chop, and I also got some fresh chopped garlic right here as well. So we're gonna be using that in our sauce to give it a little fresher taste, since we're just not gonna process our own tomatoes off the vine. Let's go ahead and get some of these herbs chopped. We got our oregano. I like to grab it up in a bunch and just give it a rough chop. Our parsley. We're gonna give that a rough chop. And we're gonna use this for our sauce and also for our ground turkey that we're gonna saute as well, brown up in our skillet. And this is sage, by the way. I love sage. Sage has a great aroma, and we're gonna put a little of that in our turkey. A little chopped sage. We got our skillet getting hot. I got our ground turkey here, and I got a little chicken sausage in there mixed in as well. So what we're going to do is get a little salt in there, some pepper, some of this garlic, some oregano, parsley, and some of that sage. We're gonna mix that up. And we can sit that aside for a couple minutes till we get our veggie sauteed. Our oil is hot, so we can go ahead and get our veggies in there. We get that onion in there. And our green pepper. A little salt and pepper. And we don't want to cook this completely because it's going in our sauce. We just want to soften it a little bit. And then it's going to cook in our lasagna. Alright, our noodles looking good. We just gonna go ahead and drain them. And our sauteed veggies is right where we want them to be at as well. So we're gonna get this out of there and get our turkey meat cooked up. Get our ground turkey right in that same pan. We're gonna bring up the heat a little bit. And mind you, your noodles are always still cooking. After you take them out the boiling water and sit them on the side, they are actually still cooking. So you gotta be careful. That's how a lot of people get soft noodles. You know, you want them to be al dente. You know, al dente is the way you want your noodles to be. Just a point. Let's get that ground turkey and chicken sausage in there. You're gonna go ahead and brown that really good, but it doesn't have to cook thoroughly because we're gonna put it in our lasagna. You know, when we put it in the oven, it's gonna finish cooking. Alright, we got our ground turkey the way we want it to be. Nice and brown. We just gonna sit that aside for a minute and we're gonna get started on our quick sauce. Basically, I'm just gonna dump some diced tomatoes, a can of diced tomatoes in there. And I got some tomato sauce as well. And we're gonna do a little bit of tomato paste. Tomato paste is gonna thicken our sauce so it's not as watery and you know, runny. Even though, you know, we like to make things on our show to make your mouth watery, but we don't want our lasagna sauce watery. So when you add tomato paste, you always have to bring it to a boil. That's the only way it's gonna work. That's why I'm not adding my meat yet. I'm gonna wait and bring this to a boil so I can get a head start on my sauce thickening. And then when we put it in the oven, it's gonna thicken again because we're gonna add our cheese. So we're just gonna go ahead and get this seasoned up and bring that to a boil like I said. You know, we can go ahead and dump our onions and peppers in there. Let's go with a little bit of garlic. A little bit of oregano and some parsley. And you know, we're gonna do a little bit of sugar. This is organic sugar, and what it's gonna do is take some of the tartness away from the tomatoes. Because you know, tomatoes are very acidic, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta kinda cut it a little bit. So that sugar should be enough to cut it. And then like I said, we also using cheese. So you're gonna have all these different flavors, you know, trying to work together. Let's go with a little salt and pepper, of course. And we're gonna bring that to a, I don't know what kind of boil to call it. Slow boil. I don't want to be at a rolling boil. I just want it to get hot so I can get my sauce to coagulate, if that's the right word. Coagulate. We're gonna use that one. Alright? You see, we got our sauce coming to a boil. You see how it already thickened? That's what I was talking about. Get that sauce thickened, and we just gonna go ahead and add this meat right in there. Yeah, you know, so we here getting our not all day sauce ready, maybe our quarter of the day sauce ready, maybe I should say that. Don't get mad at me, Italiano. I see you. We gonna get you to come on the show and show us how to make all-day gravy. How about that one? That's right. Chefs in the hood, baby. You know what I'm saying? We know everybody. We gonna get everybody to come to the show. We gonna take a little bit of this sauce, just a little bit, before we add our base layer, just because. Just because that's how I want to do it today. People go crazy about what do you do with sauce and cheese and all of that. You know, I usually do noodles, sauce, then cheese. That's the way I do it. Noodles, sauce, then cheese. You see, I broke out my little box grater here. You know, we actually grated that cheese ourselves here. You know what I mean? We don't have no food processors and all of that. You know, we grated our cheese ourselves. But this is a good blend of mozzarella and Munster cheese I got here. You know, we're going to go ahead and get our sauce layer on. We ladling, baby. Go ahead, baby. We ladling, baby. That's how we do it. LL Cool J style. Little more. Let's go over to our cheese station. Get some ricotta in there. Ricotta. I know it looks like I'm making a little mess, but there's a method to my madness. Now you can make it any way you want and use any kind of cheeses you want, but this is just my choices in cheeses. This is how I like it. Maybe you might like it like that too. Who knows? Let's get another layer of, actually let's go a little bit more sauce. Just to heat that layer of cheese up. Just a little to heat that cheese up because we're going to go with another layer of noodles. See that? Give it a good press. Layers, baby. Nice. What do you think? Looks good? I know to me it looks good. But we're going to keep building. You know, as you can see, I'm here drinking wine while I'm getting my lasagna on. But we're going to keep it going. Yeah, so we're going to check on our lasagna. Actually, it's looking great. Look at that. That is beautiful. That's what we want. So we're going to pull that out. And we're going to let it sit for a couple minutes because we want it to firm up and we want to cut it. Lasagna is supposed to be cut. So we're going to let it firm up for maybe 5 minutes or so because it's actually really hot. It's been cooking in the oven. So once we get ready to plate it, you know, we want it to look nice on the plate. So just let us get a few minutes while it sets up. Checking our lasagna. Let's get a little piece of that and see how it came out. As you can see, it's still very, very hot. Looks good to me. Give it a try. That's great. I wish you could have a plate of this. It's awesome. Excuse me. But I need to finish eating this. And I'll see y'all next time. Chefs in the Hood, baby. Peace.